Today's code walkthrough, I will show you how to calculate a game's box score using play-by-play data. This play-by-play data was generously provided by Big Data Ball. You can check out their website at bigdataball.com. As you can see, they have various data sets across many sports. So looking at their play-by-play data, we'll be calculating a box score. So this is what you would see typically after a game. You'd see all the various stats in their various metrics. Here's a preview of that play-by-play data provided by Big Data Ball. As you can see, that shows the regular season game, the players on the court, the periods, the time remaining, as well as the various plays that occurred. So these columns would indicate which player did what points were scored, what was the result, the types, as well as the descriptions right here. So this entire data set is essentially play-by-play of one regular season game. And basically what we want to get to is a box score of the various stats. So in today's walkthrough, I'll be showing you how to do just that, just calculating the box score using play-by-play data. The packages that you'll need for today's walkthrough is Python. This is using Python 3.7 on Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook, both work. You'll need regex, datetime, NumPy, pandas, and functools to use the reduce function. So let me get started. So you'll read in the data first. This is just a preview of the data. This is what I have open in the background as well. See that? Just some information about the data set itself. We're looking at one game. It has about 477 rows and 44 columns. And before we get started, you'll see that there are various blank values in the data set, and that's normal given the nature of this data set. We won't have values for a lot of these. But in order to figure out our box score, we'll need to fill in the null values specifically for the points. Go ahead and do that. We'll have to do a little bit more data cleaning, especially with the event type column, to remove some of these unnecessary events, the start of period as well as the end of period. Doing a little bit more data cleaning, we'll have to clean up the play lane column as well as the elapsed and remaining time. And if you've seen my other video, we'll need to reformat the player columns in order to get NBA plus minus. So a plus minus is this column right here. So we'll need to create essentially dummy variables to get those columns. Now when we're actually calculating the box score stats, I'll be going through these one by one. You'll see that the code is fairly similar across all of these stats. It's essentially isolating the event type. So here we're looking at the free throw as well as the field goals. And then you'll see that this is essentially a pivot table. We just want to see a pivot table of all the players as well as their missed and made. So I'll go ahead and run this one, and I'll show you what this looks like. So here we're basically isolating how many times a player has made a field goal as well as attempted a field goal, and then we're calculating the percentage. So 2 divided by 7 is 0.29. And we're doing that in a pivot table, which will allow us to get all of the players in this format right here. So as you can see, we'll have some nulls for players that did not play. So this is normal. We'll take care of these in a later step. The free throws. here we're looking at the 3-pointers. And as I just mentioned, you'll see that the structure for this code is very similar across all these metrics. We're basically just doing a count of how many 3-pointers were attempted and how many 3-pointers were made. And we're basically repeating all these for the various metrics that we're looking at. So rebounds, we're looking at offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. And same for down here. We're just basically counting the assists, the steals, the blocks, and the turnovers. And in the fouls, you'll see I've commented this one out, but here we're just basically looking for the different foul types. In a box score, the only foul types that are counted are the foul, the offensive charge foul, personal foul, and shooting foul, so we're not using all of these. I'll comment this back down. Run this one. And same with points. As you'll notice above, I've mentioned that we had to fill the null values in this points column. But again, we're just using a pivot table right here in the pandas function, using the team and the player to basically get all the players and their points. Minutes played right here. Here we'll also basically use a group by, which is somewhat of a pivot table, and we'll basically create by using the play length column all the times a player was active on the court. So I'll go ahead and run this. So you'll see right here, when a player is active on the court, it'll be signified as a 1, and when he's on the bench, he's signified as a 0. Kind of hard to see this. Let me open this one for you guys. So after running this set right here, we can basically see all the time the player is on the bench, and you're counting basically the seconds, and then the minutes played, which is minutes. So a little bit of this is unformatted, and we'll be taking care of this in a later step, so you can see that unformatted. Plus minus is a little bit more technical. If you'll see in my other video, plus minus is calculating by using the dummy variables, as I've mentioned above up here. To basically count when a player is on the court as that 1, and then counting the team points scored, and then when the player is on the court, counting the opposing team's points scored. So this is a little bit more technical right here. I have another video that better explains how this is done. So please check out that other video. This. Now now if you'll remember, I've captured all of this information for each metric. So minutes played is captured in this min df data frame. Points is captured in points df, fouls, personal fouls df. And now we're going to basically compile our box score, which is fairly straightforward. We're using all the data frames that we've created. These are basically all the pivot tables we've created. And then we're using that reduce function to basically merge everything. Dropping some unnecessary columns that we don't need, that unformatted, plus minus, as well as minutes on the bench. We're reordering some of the columns for visuals right here, and doing a little bit more data cleaning. And I'll show you what the final product looks like. So there you have it. This is the box score compiled from NBA play-by-play data. It shows the team, the player, minutes played, field goals attempted, the percentage on field goals, three-pointers attempted, that 3-point percentage, free throws. This gets cut off here, but We have the rebounds, the total rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, turnovers, fouls, points, and plus minus right here. For the entire code, please check out the article. This code is available to you if you'd like to try this on your own in Python. As you can see, this is the same box score that you see on Basketball Reference. And give this a try. Thank you so much.